Hey there, fellow ARAH G.I. Joe collectors. Welcome back. Yeah, we're doing another ARAH bit today. Nothing 60s or 70s recently. And it's been a while since I've done a G.I. Joe journey video anyways. However, I've had some interesting luck in the last few weeks, as a matter of fact. Starting actually with that yard sale, if you remember. And in here is a bag full of odds and ends. There is a complete shipwreck in there, minus accessories, but there's a complete shipwreck, there's a complete bat, and I think the rest of the figures are all like somebody doesn't have legs, somebody doesn't have arms, you know how it is. But the bag was $25 at a yard sale, so how could I pass it up, right? And then there was the Goodwill Find, which was very rare. And we did a separate video on that. And I could put a link to it down below if anybody missed it. But it was a big green tote. Still got the tote sitting on the floor over there. And it was $4.09 at Goodwill. And it was filled with G.I. Joe and a smattering of Star Wars pieces. And it was all in pieces. And out of it, I was able to do a few things like almost a complete triple T there, minus a rocket. There's only one rocket, and no Sergeant Slaughter. But $4.09. And again, I'll put a link down below. I got a complete maggot out of that. Radar dish is broken off though, but it's there, which I think that's pretty common too, because of the placement of the dish. This was in there, and again, you know, there's a lot of other pieces. I can't show everything because it's kind of scattered all over. This is actually complete, although it's kind of broken up, like the canopies, the tabs are broken. One of the ski rockets, the tip is broken off. You get the idea. But I had a lot of luck out of that box lot for $4. And it's like, when's the last time this was in there? It's missing like 6 of the rockets though, right? Or 8. This thing came with 10, didn't it? Yeah, it's missing like 8 of the little orange rockets. Okay. But you know how hard it's been to find anything at all in thrift stores in recent years. It's just been ugly. Goodwill and all of those other places, they think they're freaking experts at everything. That was in there. It's missing a lot, you can tell. Although it did have 3 of the rockets. But that's missing almost everything. But that was just rare. Then we went to the Powder Springs toy swap, which isn't really a swap, it's actually a show. And it typically has around 60 vendors. It's outdoors at the, which antique mall was it?
Treasure Hunt.
Yeah,
Antique
Treasure
Mall.
Hunt Antique
in Powder
Mall.
Springs, Georgia.
Yeah, in Powder Springs, hosted by Retroville. And it's a good show. We film the shows when we go, so you can catch that also in the last few videos that we did, because it was this past Saturday on June the 4th. And at that show, I came across a couple of other great pieces, including this one, which is the APC. And that is a really clean example of the APC. This is nice. And this was a trade. I actually did a swap at the swap, which, you know, like I said, mostly they're selling. But this was courtesy of Angel, thank you. Traded for this, got a really good deal on it. And it looks almost like unplayed with, because this is one of those toys that a lot of kids would have thrown in the bathtub or the swimming pool or something like that, because it's an amphibious personnel carrier. And, you know, we'll open it up and take a look in here, because it has this thing. Some people call it a seat belt, but it's got this safety band here. And they're both still original and intact, because you see all the little cutouts for their butts. for them to sit in there. And the APC, including the driver and the person riding shotgun, holds like 28 figures. Because they stand up in the middle row and they sit here on both sides. And this is often broken or missing, as is the steering wheel. But 28 figures is supposed to go in there. And it's a really cool piece. And obviously I didn't have one. I wish I had 10 of them, because it's just kind of neat. I like it. Although the Action Force version from the UK is much better. The way that they did it for the UK, they modified the interior to be like the inside of, I don't know, a mobile command vehicle or something. It had all little computers and seats and like first aid stuff, like little stretchers and things. They went nuts with it, but that's a tough one to find too, by the way, the UK version. But I am not at all disappointed with this one. If I can get it back on there. There we go. I was happy to find one of these in such great condition. And then also, courtesy of Martin from Retroville, the Cobra Hydro Sled in the box. And this is sealed still. This has never been opened. The box is a little rough, as you can tell. You know, I think it's been exposed, obviously it's been exposed to moisture, I would say. But again, it has not been opened, and the flag point is still intact. 'Cause again, I've seen even sealed G.I. Joe vehicles where the flag point has been cut off. So it's nice to see that flag point on there. And of course, this is the variant with the free body transfer advertised on the front of the box. Because, you know, sometimes, and this is printed on. That's printed on here. It's not a sticker. Because sometimes it's a sticker and sometimes it's printed. But there are variants as well as with the figures. I'm not too worried about variants. It's just nice to have this in the box again. And I'll find a nice place for it. And Martin from Retroville gave me a really, really nice price on that. I got a great deal from him, and I appreciate it. You know, he knows that I'm not trying to turn around and sell it. It's going someplace where it will be appreciated. And that's what it's all about, folks. So yeah, I had some nice luck in the last couple of weeks between all the loose pieces and actually able to put together a few complete pieces from out of that Goodwill box slot, even if the stuff is kind of rough. But for $409 plus tax, I mean $450 for a tote full of vintage Joe and a handful of Star Wars pieces. This was in there too. This is actually complete, although the canopy is damaged, but still, it's not a valuable piece, but it's just great that you could even find anything like that, because I watch a lot of these things. People have these Facebook posts or these YouTube videos, and they go to YouTube and they find like $8,000 worth of vintage toys, and I'm like, yeah, sure you did. Because I know how hard, oh, that flips up. I thought I broke it for a second. I know how hard it's gotten. It's not like in the 90s. I used to be able to go to thrift stores every day and always came home with something. It's not like that anymore. It's gotten very, very hard. So that was nice. The yard sale was nice, even though it's all bits and pieces. I can use them. You know, I can use these to repair other figures. Maybe I'll find pieces of this and that. And that's cool. And then this really clean APC. I just and I like the styling of the earlier ARAH Joes that still had a real military feel to it before they started getting carried away with their vehicles. I'm sure some of you know what I'm talking about. And that is just really classic looking to me. Plus, it was used a lot in the show. This is one of those vehicles that was used quite often in the show, kind of like the Skyhawk. Skyhawk was used quite frequently in the show. And there's a few vehicles that were, and there's some vehicles that you hardly ever saw. You know, maybe it'd appear once or twice just to put the seed in your mind about getting the toy. But anyways, what do you think, guys? I think I did pretty good, without going into price outside of the yard sale and thrift store stuff, because I don't talk about price too much. But what do you think? Let me know what your thoughts are. Did you have any recent luck? And I'm hoping to find more like Adventure Team or Fighting Man stuff from the 60s and 70s, because Joe Fest is coming up here in the next few weeks, and we will be going to Joe Fest. We will film it, and we will hopefully be shopping there. So watch out for that coming up in the next few weeks. And if that's it, then what more can I say but thanks for watching, and we will see you again soon.